Hello, my name is Van Rose. Join me for some hip mobility exercise on the floor with the mat. So we're going to start out with our left side. Fold the bottom arm, just rest your head. We got hip rotation, hip abduction, hip extension, and hip internal rotation. Here we go. Stack the feet, just your abduction. You're taking this up, and you're going to push it back to a hip extension, and you're going to rotate your foot up toward the ceiling and back down. Hip abduction, hip extension, hip internal rotation, and back down. Let's go through that nice and controlled. Hip abduction, hip extension, turn the foot up toward the ceiling, that's your hip internal rotation, and back down. Abduction, extension, internal rotation, and back down. Abduction, extension, kick that foot back, rotate the foot toward the ceiling, internal rotate, back down, and repeat. Abduction, extension, internal rotation, back to center, and lower down. One more. Abduction, hip extension, hip internal rotation, lower back down, and release. All right, so we have an extra range clamshell. So come up to a side plank, elbows under your shoulder, okay? Extra range clamshell, you're here, right? And lower back down. Nice and control. Good. Remember, this hand can be rest right here, but try not to push. It could be rest right here as well. Okay. Awesome. Now, if that extra range clamshell is too much, you can keep your feet together. Clamshell, open. Lift the hip off the ground, okay? Good. Nice. Breathe in, out, exhale at the top. One more. And release. All right, lay back down, fold the arm, rest the head. All right, we got hip circles, so you should feel it right at the hip, right here. Hip circle, clockwise. Nice and control. Woo! Burn, burn. Feeling it right here. Now let's take that reverse clockwise. Last one, and release. Whew. That burns. Slowly bring yourself up. Now let's go ahead and switch side. Your right side. Remember, back to the 3 exercise. Hip abduction, hip extension, and hip internal rotation. So rest the head, okay? Let me demonstrate that again. Your hip stack, rest your head, relax. So you're gonna give me an abduction. Now you're gonna kick this back to a hip extension. From the hip extension, you're gonna rotate your foot toward the ceiling. That's your internal hip rotation. And back down. Are you ready to join me? Go. Abduction. Hip extension. Internal rotate. Woo. Back. And reset. Repeat. Abduction. Extension. Internal rotate. At the hip, right? Back to center and lower down. Abduction. Extension. Internal rotate. Back to center and lower down. You're doing great. Last one. Oop, I'm sorry. Take that back. I'm moving too quick. Abduction. Hip extension. Internal rotate. Back to center and reset. Abduction. Hip extension. Internal rotate. Foot toward the ceiling, right? Bring it back. Reset. Abduction. Hip extension. Hip internal rotate. Bring it back and reset. Last one. Abduction. Hip extension. Hip internal rotation. Back down and reset. Awesome. All right, moving on. The extra range. Again, you could just keep your feet together. You don't have to separate, okay? Get up to your side plank position. Elbows under your shoulder, hip stack. Here we go. And lower back down. Lower back down. Awesome work. Inhale, starting position. Exhale, lift the hip. Open up. Good. Burn, burn. A couple more. Last one. And release. Woo. All right, you're gonna lay back down. This is our last one. Rest your head. Keep your body straight, parallel to the floor. All right. Circles at the hip. We got clockwise. You ready? Join me. Go. You do the circle. Try not to rock back, right, to where your bottom hip comes off from the ground. Nice and control. At the hip. Circles. Good. Woo. You got this. Hang in there. The burn. Reverse clockwise. Let's finish this. Nice and control. Last one. Awesome work. Slowly bring yourself up. Woo, you made it. Awesome work. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Take care.